I'll drop down an RS light dome. Go to the shader tab, and we're going to import our ACCG HDRI, the one that we converted. Go to the transform tab, and I'm going to drop the icon scale down to 0. We don't need to see it. We will create a material network, which is where our materials will live. Let's rename that to Palm Materials. I think what we'll do is we'll move the palm with these materials, create a network box around it, like that. We can call this one Palm. Keep things nice and organized. Let's create a camera as well. So I'm going to frame this tree up in my perspective view, and then I'm going to control click on the camera, and that creates a camera from the perspective view, which is kind of cool. We're going to call this test cam. Probably color this like a reddy pink color, and drop a network box around it. Keep everything organized. Color it, and we'll color the light something like I usually color my lights like a yellow color, like that, just so if anyone jumps into your scene, they know exactly what's happening. We'll also drop down a ROPNet, which is kind of similar to Maya's render layers, but it's a little bit more sophisticated, and it's a lot more efficient in my opinion. So what we'll do when we're inside the ROPNet is we'll drop down a Redshift custom material, custom ROP, and we'll rename this to something like trees. You can rename that to whatever you want though. Let's select our test cam. Right there. You can also export a relative path. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can start building up our palm materials, I think. So I'll drop down an RS material, and this will be called our palm bark. Drop down the base properties. Let's drop down an RS texture to import our bark material. So diffuse. And we're going to do one thing at a time. We're going to test out the diffuse first, then the glossiness, then the subsurface, and so on. So there's two ways to apply this material to our asset. One is you can drag it like that. So that's on our asset. But the problem is that now we have bark on the branches and the fronds. We don't want that. So I'm going to remove that from here. And you can also click on this box here and you can select the palm bark there. But we don't want to do that. We want to jump into the palm and we want to assign materials at this level. And if you have materials at this level, this is an override. So whatever is here will override what's here. So this will be our palm bark. And we're going to find our palm bark material there. So now we have the palm bark just on the palm trunk and branches, and there's currently no material on the fronds. We'll view from the palm bark as well, just so being that little bit more efficient. And it's a much nicer way of working, just breaking things down into single objects and just working through it that way. At this point I'm going to do a file, save my scene as tree library v002.